flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll.
Rem Kassoon. Tobin.
Here.
Kleiner.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
John Francois is absent. Burr.
Here.
Green.
Here.
Massey.
Here.
President Rodriguez.
Here.
And we have a quorum.
Approval of minutes.
Tonight we have the December 3rd, 2019 Common Council minutes.
So moved by Massey, second by Alderman Burr. All in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence.
Just have one from the Arbor Day Foundation congratulating Middletown on earning recognition as the 2019 Tree City USA.
Received and filed.
That's all for correspondence.
Remarks of department heads. John?
Just as an announcement, tonight we are working on, as of the Governor's Executive Order 202-1, to changes to the open meetings law, that this may be held remotely without public, but the public must have the ability to view, listen to our meetings, which the meetings are going to be live on Channel 20. Also, the full minutes will be on the website as soon as possible, but also the full video of this meeting will be on the website in 24 hours. Second thing is, I'm still not sure about the early voting in April. I'm sure we'll be hearing that in a couple weeks. When I do, it'll definitely be on the website, and I will let everybody know. That's all I have.
Okay, any question for John? Thank you. Commissioner? Can you be 6 feet away from us, please?
Yes, absolutely. Good
Karen,
evening. Just be careful. That's all with the coronavirus, everybody. And I wish everybody safe. To be safe. That's all. Do you have any questions for me?
Any question for Jacob?
No,
Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob.
Tommy,
Alderman Massey?
yeah, not only from civil service
Oh, civil
standpoint.
service.
And just to let you people know that those of you concerned about the fireman exam, that's April 25th. As of now, the state has canceled all their testing. I know there's a deadline coming up next Monday. We will continue taking applications, but please mail them in. Don't try to come to City Hall. And that's for any of the tests that you see. Just mail in the applications. Even if you pass the deadline on the firefighter one, which is the 23rd of this month, I will continue taking them until the state tells me that that's the end of it, and then we'll put it on our website. But if you go on our website, you can download the applications, and then please, once again, mail them in. Don't worry about that 23rd of this month deadline. Thank you.
Mayor?
Yes, thank you. Well, first I wanted to acknowledge the great work that the governor and the county exec, Steve Newhouse, are doing in conducting the daily phone calls, informing the public, informing us as elected officials throughout the county of what's happening countywide. And, excuse me. And I wanted to give you an idea of what we've been doing to the public. I believe yesterday or the day before I shared with you our outline or our daily log of what we're doing here at City Hall. John touched on one of the things, the open meetings, and the fact that the public is not here at the meeting. We've canceled all meetings, whether they're boards or social gatherings of firemen. We've closed the rec center. We've closed the senior center. We've also closed playground equipment in the parks. We've had a few calls on that. Why? We think it's an obvious reason why. We don't want to expose children to the virus on slides and on swings, and then although they may be asymptomatic, it's been documented that they can carry and infect their grandmothers. So those are the reasons why we're doing those things. But to give you a little timeline to the public, we were really notified in mid-February that there was an issue, and that's when we started, I believe we distributed the New York State Department of Health notice to all departments posting for employees. So they got an idea of what to expect as things move forward. On February 26th, our emergency management team, Jacob is the emergency management coordinator in the city. We met myself, Jacob, the chief of police, John Awanchu, and the fire chief, Don Lewis. We were asking for what-if scenarios around City Hall and around city government. What are we going to do, basically, if certain things happen? So we started preparing back in February. We had the chief and Jacob attend some meetings regarding the virus with some of the educational institutions in the area. And Jacob issued an order directing all departments to make sure their gasoline is tapped up to the top, and just general things you would do in any emergency response. In early March, March 3rd, in fact, Chief Awanchu contacted all of the vulnerable people who serve vulnerable populations, the warming center, the soup kitchen, library, school district, to identify what issues they may have and what protocols they will be following, and establishing a line of communication between us and all of those different organizations. We then, right around that time, the phone conferences with New York State began. On a daily basis, we would all log into a conference call. We had opportunities to question, and very accessible, and it was the state running that. Toro also canceled all classes and put all classes online. On that date, we prohibited the large gatherings in the city for city organizations, such as I mentioned previously, the fire department, and making people aware more of the social distancing concept. We did have a discussion because there was a rush on buying bottled water, which we really couldn't figure out too much, because the water supplies are not impacted by this virus in any way. So if that's a concern about, and I know some of it's because people on TV will say, go out and buy everything you need to buy for the next 2 or 3 months, hunker down, but the water supply is safe and is not impacted by the coronavirus. We were we were making sure that all employees and employee safety protocols were kicked in. Any employee coming to the building we identified as sick were sent home. We asked that they not even come to the building, but we established those cleaning protocols along with cleaning protocols in all the parks and all the outbuildings of the city. On March 9th, we had 39 new cases in New York State, and that was or 37 new cases. And on March 10th, the total reached 173. At one of the telephone calls, some of the issues that were communities like ours and people are experiencing the same thing is the shortages that are out there, whether it's primarily hand sanitizer was the most important one, and the N95 masks. The governor announced on March 9th that they would be New York State was making the hand sanitizer. It was being distributed to the priority areas first, like New Rochelle, where the big outbreak was, and certain portions of New York City. On the 10th, we canceled all trips from the recreation center. There were trips planned to the Barclays Center, to a zoo down in Essex County, and an aquarium. All the trips were canceled, and all activities were limited. Around the 12th, the governor issued the ban on mass gatherings of 500 or more. The city also postponed the 2 concerts, which were mass gatherings at the Paramount Theater. We then issued the Middletown Police then put out directives to staff and about screening individuals in the lobby. Right around that time, we spoke with the fire department about screening phone calls into the fire department. As you know, our fire department does many medical calls to back up Mobile Life. We did not have appropriate gear at the time, but they do have their, Miguel, what's the pack they call it? They put on their face? The oxygen?
Scott
The air
Pack?
pack, the air packs, yeah. So they were using that as a protective gear, which works, but then that had to be decontaminated coming back to the firehouse. But we did put we are limiting the amount of, if Mobile Life is on the scene, we are no longer doing backup on the scene with Mobile Life. But of course, the fire department will go if there's an emergency and mobile life cannot respond. And the reason for that is we don't want to have exposure of the firemen. Then all of a sudden we have firemen out, and then we don't have fire protection either. So there's a reason for doing those things. On the 13th, we worked with the school district. Well, it's all the school districts work. We just cooperated with them on the food program in the parks. Little League was canceled for this for now, and the city preschool, we directed them to follow the school calendar, waiting and anticipating that school would be canceled. Right around that time, on the 13th, is the president declared the state of emergency, which kicked in a whole bunch of new regulations for us to follow. And there is a little bit of a difference between what the state's recommending and what the feds are recommending, and we recommend that, for the most part, follow the most restrictive guideline that's issued. At that time, it was 50%. All restaurants and bars had to reduce their capacity by 50%. I don't think it was too much of a problem for many of the places because most people were not going out anyway. But we were prepared to enforce that. A lot of questions to the county and their phone call about trying to do reverse 911 to educate the public. Of course, in Middletown, we're lucky to have both Channel 20 and a lot of social media activity. So we've been basically dedicating probably 80 to 90% of Channel 20's time to the corona virus and the things the city has done throughout the process. So anyone who's watching, if you have access to cable, you can go on Channel 20 and follow what the city is doing. Some of the slides need to be modified a little bit. They didn't come out too well when transferred over, so Eileen is working on that. On March 14th, if you've been laid off, the governor has waived the 7-day wait for unemployment insurance. And we just saw a projection now that unemployment in the country is projected to go to 20%. So it's a very serious thing we're all dealing with, both health-wise and economy-wise. They also waived the 180-day minimum school restrictions. The county executive announced today that anticipate that all schools in Orange County will be closed for at least 1 month. So that will bring you right through Easter week. We anticipated that anyway with a 2-week closure, then a 1-week return, and then going back out. But he basically made it clear today, and I think it's the right decision to close all schools through the Easter recess. We assigned 2 school resource officers to work with the school district in the distribution of the meals program on the 14th, and that was going to start on March 16th. One big issue that the governor has highlighted in all of the calls is the bed capacity of hospitals and the calling on the feds to get more involved with the Army Corps of Engineers to construct some temporary hospitals. We don't know the specifics of what's going on, but I know they are looking at different sites, old schools, old hospitals like Orange Region, the old Horton Hospital here in Middletown. We believe they are looking at these facilities to once again activate as some short-term hospital facility. New York State courts are closed with the exception of emergencies. All Middletown court issues, criminal court issues, are referred to down to Orange County. We also, all Middletown court issues related to traffic and tickets and traffic are down at the county. The governor also announced waiver of the telehealth. If you do telehealth, there will be no copay. So if someone's charging you for telehealth copay, please contact the hotlines that you see on ny.gov. All of this information regarding the governor's activities are on ny.gov, and it's pretty detailed executive orders that you can refer to. One we did on the 15th, we did discuss the possibility of a state of emergency. I directed Alex Smith to do some research on it for a couple of reasons. It gives us a lot of authority in purchasing and sidestepping some of the bureaucracy that you normally would have to go through. But also what we have to do throughout this process is document our expenses, because there is an anticipation that the city expenditures and town expenditures and local municipal expenditures will at some point be reimbursed, as in most disasters as we've seen in the past. We then followed up on as I said, on a daily basis, keeping informed both state, county, and the regional mayors now have a regional conference call so we can share information on a regional basis. And I know Maria's been on calls with HUD to see if there's any way we can redirect any of our HUD funds into assisting local people. We've implemented the closing of City Hall as of yesterday afternoon. So thus the reason for nobody at the public meeting here tonight. And if you have city business, most of it can be handled online. You can call before you come here. If you need to come to City Hall, if you have an emergency of some type, whether you need a birth certificate, a death certificate, or something you need is urgent, you can call ahead and we can possibly, John, mostly out of the clerk's office, can help you. If you just arrive at City Hall, you will be stopped. There's the lobby area between Middletown City Court and the City Hall, between the police station and City Hall, is the only entrance for the public. It's locked, it's staffed, and there's an intercom system there. So during normal City Hall business days, normal course of business, someone will be there, ask you what your business is, and they will try to contact the department that you need to go to. And if it's something that is urgent, the department will try to help you. If it's something that's not urgent, like someone wants to go to economic development and talk about opening a business, we will not allow you into the building. Same thing with the police station. The police lobby is closed. All people going to the police station 24 hours a day can go to that location between the police station and City Hall off of James Street. There's an intercom there, and the police department will address your questions. Again, all part of this social distancing, trying to limit people interacting with each other and meeting the 6-foot rule, or as best we can. The feeding program I mentioned earlier is in place. It's working great. I understand that they might expand it to a few more stops. I saw a post by Pastor Williams that Mid-City Bus is being very cooperative and helping them in distributing those meals. And we do have the snow fence up around the playground equipment. Please do not violate that. Under Article 2B of the state emergency, you can be charged if you violate any of the provisions of the state, county, or the city of Middletown state of emergency. So and as regards to the seniors, we have continued to run the senior bus for obvious reasons. People need to get to the supermarket. The county has recommended that as long as we're able to maintain some type of regular service, because people are losing drivers. Some people in smaller communities are refusing to either drive the bus or calling in. We've been fortunate that we've been able to maintain the program. They do have proper sanitizing equipment after each trip. The whole bus is sanitized, but it is still a concern that at some point the bus system might have to be closed down, because we're limiting it to 2 or 3 people per trip. But if the volume gets up there, we don't know what the future will be with the bus system. But we are taking the recommendations of the county and state government pretty serious in that area. If it does, we have been had a lot of people calling regarding how they can help. See, I almost coughed into my hand. And of volunteers, and the volunteers are not really needed at this point because we don't want you to be exposed either. But what we are doing is the overwhelming majority of city employees have been deemed essential employees. The governor has requested that non-essential employees be up to 50% or a minimum of 50% of your workforce be released and allowed to work from home or just working and not get paid. We're into our 9th year of meeting the tax cap. So we don't have that flexibility to meet that standard as first originally prepared. Many people raised the question with the governor's staff. We needed some interpretation of the non-essential employee policy. What does it mean? Late this afternoon, they did define it, and basically it's subjective to the city, and we will be putting together a position-by-position evaluation or recommendations on how that person can serve the city during this time of crisis. My personal opinion is that during these times, this is when government is most needed. A small community like us, we need to keep our senior program, people on the phone, talking to them. If we're going to open the parks, not the playground area, we need them to be supervised, we need them to be clean. We have to pick up our garbage, plow our streets. We need our firemen, we need our police, and we need to collect money, which we're doing in a lockbox form or some type of collection at the door in by mail, and we need to pay bills. So we've asked that any employee that's also willing to volunteer during the work hour to pick up prescriptions or to run some errand like shopping for any senior who needs it in the city of Middletown, that we would be willing to do that also. So we're coordinating that through the senior center in case and maybe in conjunction with the bus program. So we expect to announce that in the next day or two. A number for you to call if you need prescription medications picked up, if you need some light groceries, we will have an employee pick them up for you and bring them to your house. We ask that people do not abuse that truly seniors in need or someone with a disability in need that has trouble moving around, that we would restrict it to that, and we would ask people to cooperate when announced. Message to businesses. One of the calls today, I think, was reinforcing that if you are a business, bars and restaurants, you can only open for takeout. The State Liquor Authority has changed some of the laws regarding what alcohol you can sell to go, but for the most part, people cannot sit in your establishment and consume either a drink or food. The police will be enforcing this. So we ask that you not do it. If you have any questions whether your business is covered under that act, you can contact my office and we will try to get an answer from you through the Orange County Health Department or New York State. In closing, the hotline numbers are on the channel 20. If you display any symptoms and you're not in a crisis situation, please call the hotline number. Do not go to the hospital. Contact your doctor. Use telehealth, but do not go to the hospital unless absolutely necessary. If you're displaying shortness of breath, chest pain, of course, you do that. But if you have a cough and you're running a fever, please try your best to call the numbers first so they can do a screening and they can redirect you. They are opening a drive-in test site at Anthony Wayne State Park for Orange and Rockland residents, primarily up in Bear Mountain area. And that should be open within the next day or so. It might even be open as we speak. I know they were up there today working on the logistics. So that's all I have. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to address them.
Alderman Burr?
If you could just, they suspended the off-street parking now?
Yes, yeah, I forgot
Alderman
that.
Green
Yes.
would like to hear that one.
Yeah, we did today.
Problem solved.
We were hoping to do it a couple days ago, but the weather projection last night was freezing rain, possibly snow. So we did have a couple calls.
Just
One
to
gentleman
touch
on
on
Lincoln
that,
Street.
how it stays in effect if there's still snow.
Yep, if it snows, then you need to remove,
All right.
and we'll put out a nixle. It is very important if you should sign up for the nixle, because that is when the most immediate information is coming out. I believe it'll send you a text, it'll send you an email. I believe it even a phone recording on nixle. And so it's very important to stay up to date on that stuff. But some of the calls were, hey, my kids are all home from school. They're usually not here. They have cars, and some people weren't very happy. So
That's true, too.
it's very, yeah, it's right on the mark. So it is, as of today, removed.
And one other question is, you cannot pay your city taxes online. A couple of constituents called me, said they can't pay their taxes online, so they'll have to use, if, they're already late by now anyway, but.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to freeze any penalties up till this point, and till we get a system in place where they can. The idea is to try not to bring them here, but we have no bills coming in at this point, timely bills. So, but if there's someone who's looking to pay their bill, they can call, and they might be able to arrange it for the treasurer's office to meet them at the door. We always like to collect money.
So under
They can mail it too. Yeah, sure, they can mail it.
Yeah, just mail it.
Yeah.
Under the emergency management, we started a call center, so I know we're doing extra cleaning and everything, so if we get reimbursed by the state or the county.
The city, we being the city?
Yeah,
Yes, that's potentially. We expect it to act as probably even more so than a regular snow emergency, which usually are portions reimbursed. But all departments have been told to track expenses.
be good to add 3 mechanical arm trucks.
Yeah,
Pick up
yeah.
any garbage,
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
And we'll talk about it.
so the guys don't have to touch it. Alderman Johnson?
Thank you. With respect to the senior bus, I heard somebody told me today, I talked to a lot of people in the day because of my day job, that some grocery stores are designating the first hour opening to senior citizens. Do you know if we're doing that in Middletown?
Well, the bus is available for rides, so I don't.
No, I'm just saying that the establishment is saying, for this hour, only
Yeah.
senior
I've
citizens are
seen
coming into the
certain
store.
stores, I don't know which one. Stop and Shop in the Middletown area.
It
yeah.
sounds like a great idea.
There's a place in Florida, Sam's Meat Club or something like that, or something like that. But there are, I'm sure as one or two start, some more will add to
I'm
it.
just thinking if we coordinated the bus transportation with that, that could be
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And on a more general term, I've tried to touch base with the mayor every day, to be annoying, because I'm good at that.
Yes, you are.
But also, I'm talking to these guys, don't listen. The mayor, as omnipotent as he appears to be, he's just a guy, and there's a lot on his plate. And we're making policy where the facts are fuzzy, the protocols and precedents are non-existent, and the supplies are limited. So I'm glad that the governor and the county executive are providing some leadership, but, the buck stops at the mayor's desk to put this all in place. And both as a resident and alderman, I have 100% level of confidence in the mayor and the department heads that we're keeping the town as best as it could be. And that's all I have to say on that matter. Thank you.
Thank you, and I think key is department heads also, because we're here from early morning till usually late evening, and even Alderman Massey pitches in once in a while. But it is mostly, a lot of it is based on feedback too from the public, like the call from a guy on Lincoln Street about the overnight parking. It totally slipped our mind, but he said, hey, my kids are home from college, and that's how you change things. To the public, we want to hear from you. And if you have something on your mind, let's hear it, and we can try to make some changes for it. Any questions? All right, good, thank you.
Okay, remarks of Alderman Burr?
Everybody be safe, wash your hands, do the protocols that are out there, and stay safe. Thank you.
Alderman Kleiner?
Thank you. I want to thank the mayor and the governor, but I've had people who used to live in Middletown who are seeing what's going on, who congratulated the city. I said I would pass it on, and how quickly we've reacted and how quickly the food program is up and things like that. So I remember a month and a half ago, one of the experts from the CDC getting on the air and saying, life as we know it is going to change. And of course, they were shut down immediately and told, no, everything was fine. But we've learned who to listen to. The governor's been very proactive. The warming station is still functioning. It's had volunteers who haven't been able to make it, but others have filled in, so I think they only have 1 or 2 dates they still need someone for. It goes through the end of March. I think April 1st or 2nd is the last day. The Salvation Army has stepped up, and I thank Major Moore, because the Salvation Army has their warm place open because the library and other public buildings are closed. So they're open. They are staffed, but they could certainly use help if anyone's available during the day and young and healthy and able to volunteer. Please get in touch with the Middletown Salvation Army and Major Moore and see how you could help. With my other hat, the Historical Society will be closed, as I think most everyone is, but we have a particularly vulnerable population. I'm not going to say what our average age of the volunteers is, but so we're gonna play it safe and be closed at least the next 2 weeks, and we'll take it from there. But you can always leave a message. We're still available to do research and such. We did have, we got in under the wire a week ago and had the DEC's wildlife expert on deer overpopulations give the presentation here. I know that was playing on Channel 20. It may get preempted now by other, emergency things, but it'd be, Dr. Johnson can talk a little more about the survey we're going to do, but I do thank Susan Booth Benzick, who came down and from Albany for the presentation, and also our new DEC Region 3 wildlife expert is Jonathan Russell, and he came down too and introduced himself. So we have people to reach out to with our concerns, and we will be doing a survey. I think that's it. Follow the rules. There are a lot of people who know a lot more about this than we do, and play it safe. Thank you.
On record, Sue?
Mayor, I'd just like to thank you for all the information you gave to our constituents tonight. As a mom of 4, home in the house, looking at a long stretch without school, the only advice I can offer to concerned parents is the tidbits that I've been given from teacher friends and staff is if you have little ones, if you have internet connection, Starfall, game, online applications like that for little kids. The older kids can use Khan Academy. I know my middle schooler, everyone with a Chromebook, they actually have access to their teachers right now. My daughter is still doing assignments, so I think we're going to be just fine. I know the district is working on a plan to keep kids engaged throughout this process, and my thanks to them for working with us so well in our community. That's all I have.
Alderman Johnson.
Thank you. On the mundane, as Jerry indicated, we had the workshop. I redistributed a lengthy document from a symposium I attended back at New Paltz in October of 17. And I did confer with the council president over the weekend and got the go-ahead to put at least a first draft of a survey. I think it hits all the hot spots. It's pretty simple. And how you choose to use it, I leave that to the administration. On the agenda tonight is an allocation for the sanctuary, for the cat sanctuary. I want to reassure you all that Robin is indefatigable in her work. She's putting a dent in the Washington Street population, and that program is moving forward better than any of us could have hoped. So Grandma said, cover your mouth when you cough and wash your hands. I guess that's still true. I have other observations. I'm just going to share one. I know Mr. Massey would like me to stop talking, but that's a fantasy of his. So I talked to a lot of people in a day. I met 2 people that bought freezers to stockpile meat. Didn't see that coming. Talked to a young man. What are you going to do today? I have to go stock up on shotgun shells. I said, oh, what's going on with that? He looked me right in the eye. He's probably 30 years old and said, desperate people do stupid things. I said, okay. Didn't see that one coming either. A lot of people have a lot of stuff on their plate, but there was a young lady today. So how you doing? I'm a chatty boy. Everybody knows that. How you doing? Well, it could be better. What's going on? Besides her dog, obviously. Well, I'm a student. My classes are canceled. I won't be able to graduate this May because I have lab courses, and I can't really do virtual lab courses, so that's going to be put off for a while. I'm sorry to hear that. What else? Well, I'm a waitress in a big box restaurant, so yesterday was my last day at work. I said, wow, that's a lot. Anything else? Well, I'm scheduled to get married this summer. I have a venue, but I'm not really sure the venue will be able to host a wedding this summer. So I'm not sure how that's going to go. I said, wow. But she was smiling the whole time. And she said, but I did hear good news on the radio today. I said, what was that? She said, well, I heard that all these restaurants are closing. They're donating their food to food pantries and to people that need the food. And she said, that's a really good thing. And I said, wow, you could be a lesson for a lot of people. So the Bible is a very long book. Do unto others. That pretty much covers most of it, in my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Green.
Thank you. Yes, please do just follow all these guidelines. Restrictions, be smart. You read things on Facebook, on social media, and the experts don't go there first, pretty much. You have to watch what you're reading. Really do your due diligence and fact check. State, government websites, the mayor pointed out, newyork.gov, middletown-ny.com for our local information. The governor really is stepping up, as is County Executive Newhouse, and of course, Mayor DeStefano and our department heads. So, no one really knows what tomorrow will bring, but we know what we can do right now and what the restrictions and rules are. So I do hope we follow them. Just be smart and limit your social interaction, and keep a nice distance between you and others. On another note, happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. I know it's a little different this year, but certainly we can all use a minute to celebrate something good inside. Thanks.
Alderman Tobin.
I would also like to wish everybody happy St. Patrick's Day. Hope you're enjoying your corned beef and cabbage. I'd like to thank all the workers that are on the front line of this health emergency through our city, health departments, even the people bagging our groceries, everybody that has to work and that's helping the community stay functioning. Thank you. I hope you support our local businesses. There's takeout options available for a lot of our restaurants. Like Alderman Rankin-Soon said, I'm also trying to homeschool my kids now. It's interesting. I'm a teacher, but trying to teach my own kids is a little difficult. There's no transferring them out of the class. But please, we're on uncharted waters. I don't think the schools are totally prepared for online learning. We have to adjust. We have to adapt. The online programs, you need to sign up. You need codes. It's hard to communicate that. So there's going to be adjustment periods. So please be patient with your teachers and your schools. And the most important thing you could do is just keep your children reading. Reading books, keeping them active, having them write. If you have access to some of those online services, there's plenty of. They're offering free memberships now for math and social studies science review. So please take advantage of that. And I just ask everybody to slow down and keep it positive. Don't sweat the small stuff. Prioritize. Unless it's life or death, things can wait. This is a national emergency, so it's trust science. Trust our doctors. I know some people have a cavalier attitude, and I don't like to criticize the president, but when we have leadership in Washington calling it a hoax, and 3 weeks later it's a national emergency. Luckily, in our state, we do have leadership that trusts science, and we're taking this seriously. But let's not be cavalier about this. The life, by stopping the spread of this, we can help save lives, especially of our vulnerable populations. And I feel bad. My parents are kind of like in lockdown. They're scared to go outside. They're boomers. They're at home, and this could affect everybody. So, or people with children. So, let's keep that curve flat. Do your part to help stop the spread of this virus. And I think times like these can bring out the best in us and the worst. I go to ShopRite. I can't believe there's no toilet paper. So whoever's doing that, please stop. But let's use this time to bring out the best in us. And I think there's a lot of opportunities to do that and focus on the positive. Thank you.
Alderman Massey.
Nothing this evening.
New business.
We have a resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey to authorize the mayor to sign the Summer Youth Employment Program worksite contract with the County of Orange to obtain summer youth workers.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey, second by Alderman Green. Any discussion? Roll.
Ramkissoon.
Aye.
Tobin.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Burr.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin to close all streets and intersections as per the route for the YMCA 24th Annual in Ruthie Dino Marshall Run on Sunday, June 14th, beginning at 7:30 a.m.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin, second by Alderman Burr. Any discussion? Alderman Kleiner.
Thank you. You know, who knows by June 14th if we'll be up and running. But I still, once again, not happy with shutting down the second ward, and they've made a little adjustment in the route, but I would really like to see them try harder. But what I'm going to request is, you know, our police department and the others, that we follow it as quickly as possible and that we open up the second ward as quickly as possible after the run. Thank you.
Anyone else? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye. Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
President Rodriguez? Resolution passes.
You forgot Burr,
Oh, I'm sorry.
because I wait for your name.
Who's waiting? I thought, didn't I say Burr? Sorry about that. Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green to authorize the treasurer to transfer $5,000 to purchase the necessary items for Phase 1 of the Feral Cat Sanctuary on city property.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, second by Alderman Johnson. Any discussion? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
President Rodriguez?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson to authorize the use of the city Middletown stage for the America the Beautiful concert on Saturday, August 1st, 2020, from 12 noon to 8 p.m. for the benefit of the Hudson Valley Honor Flight.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Burr. Any discussion? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
President Rodriguez?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderwoman Ram Kasoon to accept Dancy grant in the amount of $100,000 and to authorize the mayor to sign any and all documents pertaining to this grant for improvements to the Paramount Theater parking lot, South Street.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Ram Kasoon, second by Alderman Tobin. Any discussion? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
President Rodriguez? Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner to accept the Danzy grant in the amount of $400,000 and to authorize the mayor to sign any and all documents pertaining to this grant for the renovations to the new Recreation and Parks campus, the former Start Center.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, second by Alderman Burr. Any discussion? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
President Rodriguez?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr to authorize the treasurer to transfer within the 2019 budget year-end budget clearing overdrafts, almost all payroll related.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr, seconded by Alderman Kleiner. Any discussion? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
President Rodriguez? Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey to approve program fees for all full-time city employees, children for the Recreation and Parks Department programs.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey, second by Alderman Burr. Any discussion? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
President Rodriguez?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin to provide road millings to the Hillside Cemetery.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin, second by Alderman Green. Any discussion? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
President Rodriguez? Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green to approve the MOU for the Shawangunk Fish and Game Association.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, seconded by Alderman Massey. Any discussion? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
President Rodriguez?
Aye.
Resolution passes. That's all for new business.
Audit.
Mr. President, I move the accounts be audited, the claims be adjusted, and the city treasurer be authorized to issue warrants for their payment.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey, seconded by Alderman Tobin. Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
President Rodriguez?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
So moved.